y'all, this is Susan Lee Rose from SusanMakes.com, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this really cool gated fold card. Really cool. But first I have a little bit of news. This month for September, I am guest designing for Hedgehog Hollow. And so the card that I'm going to be showing you today is going to be using stamps from their September new releases. So I thought I'd give y'all a little sneak peek. They are so cool. Okay, so this is a stamp set that I will actually be using for the card. I'm going to butcher the Spanish here. It's called Dia de los Muertos. They're Day of the Dead stamps. Look at those cute little faces. Aren't these so cute? And along with that, I'm also going to be using the Day of the Dead words, which are just kind of some sentiments. Really cute, like that. So along with those, they also sent me some other cool things that I'm going to be making some cards with a little bit later. So there's this die set, which is really cute. It's the sugar skull. It'll cut out just the outline of the sugar skull or all of the details, but it works with the stamps. They have a sugar skull stamp set too that's new this month. So cute. And so this works alongside this to cut those out. Isn't that neat? And there's also a new stencil, which is a rose stencil. And it is so pretty. And I have got to figure out a way to use this because I really like this, really. So let me show you the card that we're going to be making today. I'm going to call this a Gated Fold Magic Iris card. There are other companies that sell the dies that you can use to make the Magic Iris, but this one is done without having to use those dies, which makes it easy as those dies are kind of expensive. And if it's not something that you use on a regular basis, it's hard for me sometimes to justify buying those kind of dies that are those specialty dies. So if I can figure out a way to do it without them, more the better. So this is the card. Look at those cute little faces. Aren't they cute? So as you can see, it is a gatefold card with a belly band. We take the belly band off and we're going to open it up. Let me get it over here. And look at the Magic Iris open. Isn't that cute? I love the way this card turned out. And it is so simple to make, and it's perfect for, it says, you know, together forever, and then on the inside it says, until death do us part. These would be really a cute anniversary gift. It could also be a cute wedding card if somebody, you know, really likes this kind of style, but it'd be really cute anniversary card or something like that. I really love it, and I love the Magic Iris. It's kind of a cheat, a die-less cheat. I like that. So let's get started working on it. Just one more thing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and a share. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to see all of my videos and ring that bell down below to be notified when new content is uploaded. Thank you. All right, let's get started. Today we're going to be using this really cute stamp set from Hedgehog Hollow. I'm going to butcher the Spanish here. It's Dia de los Muertos. Really cute. Look at those sugar skeletons and stuff, are so cute. And we're also going to be using the sentiments off of the Day of the Dead words, also from Hedgehog Hollow. Look how cute these little guys look. Aren't they adorable? Just absolutely love those. We're also going to be using the paper from the Botanical Garden 6x6 paper pad by Carta. We're also going to need some peach cardstock, some black cardstock, and a small piece of red cardstock. You're also going to need some of the rose print cardstock and the red polka dot. So the first thing that we're going to do is on the card base, we're going to want to score both of the short ends at 2 1/8 inch, and that's going to create the gatefold.
So next we're going to score at 1/2 inch on the 3.5 inch side of each of the peach cardstock pieces. These are going to be used to make the magic iris. So after we get that scored, we need to just use our bone folder to get a good sharp crease into the gatefolds. We're also going to want to use our bone folder to get a good sharp crease on those folded ends of the peach pieces. So now we're going to draw an X on the back side of the peach pieces from corner to corner on both sides. And you're going to want to do it on both pieces of the peach cardstock. And we're just going to set those aside for a little bit. So now we're going to go on and glue on the decorative paper onto the flaps of the card. The red polka dot go onto the front of the card on the flaps. So we're just going to glue those right down. I like using art glitter glue. It really is one of the best glues I've ever used, and it gives you, because it's a wet glue, it gives you a little bit of time that you can wiggle it around to get it to fit perfectly. And also it doesn't ever come unstuck. Since I've been using this glue, I've never had anything come unstuck from one of my cards. Now on the inside strips, we're not going to center those on that. We're going to push them all the way up to the edge, on the side edge. These are not as wide as the ones on the front, so there's going to be a little bit of gapping, leaving a room on the black on the inside, but there's a reason for that, and I'll show you why later. So now we need to look at the placement for the red, and we need to cut out a center out of the red, and I'm just using a punch. It is a, let's see, I think it's 2 1/8. Let's see. No, it's 2 1/4, excuse me, 2 1/4 inch circle punch. I'm just going to cut out the circle out of the middle of that. And then we're just going to place it onto the card and get it centered where we want it. And then I like to take a pencil and just go around the circle so that I can make sure I get everything placed perfectly. So now I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the inside of the card. And I'm just getting it on here on my Stampopotamus. I also mostly use my Misty, but this card, because it's so big, it would not fit in my card side Misty. So we're going to stamp that up with some VersaMark ink. And we're actually going to stamp it a couple of times to make sure that it's good. So we are going to emboss this, excuse me, with some white embossing powder. And then I'm just going to heat it with my heat gun to melt it. So once the cinnamon is on there, I go back and put the red cardstock on there and I hold it still with the little clips. And now I'm going to work on the placement for the magic iris pieces, which are the peach pieces. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the top part of the X. We've got the part that's folded at the bottom and we're cutting out the opposite side. So you make these little flags. And then I'm going to put them underneath the red cardstock and we're going to start working on making that magic iris. So you're going to place them on there. That's the reason why I left that little band of black on the gatefolds, inside of the gatefolds. We're going to line that up just like we want it. And it may take a little bit to get it just so, but work with it until you get it how you want it to look. Trying to make it nice and even and straight. So now I'm going to go in and I'm just going to trace around the inside of the circle to find out where I need to cut the flags. Now I'm going to use that same 2 1/4 inch circle punch and cut out around that circle so it just fits perfectly in there. And that's how easy it really is to make the magic iris on your own. Okay, so now we're going to start getting them all placed in there correctly and glued down. So I'm going to remove those clips and I'm going to line it up with the pencil drawn circle on the inside of the card. Want to make sure that it does not go over the crease of the gatefold below it, so you need to make sure that placement is correct as well. We're just making sure that everything lines up before I glue it down. All right, so we're going to use art glitter glue and we're just going to put a little bit onto that flap and then we're going to glue it down into place. And I rub it down to make sure, kind of burnish it till it sticks really well. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side as well. Making sure everything is lined up properly and straight, because I'm kind of notorious for getting things a little cockeyed. So now we're going to make sure that the flaps, the top one overlaps opposite ends. So the top one would overlap to the left one and the bottom one overlap the right one. And so now we're going to go in and we're just going to use the double-sided foam tape and put it on the top and the bottom of the red cardstock. So I have a little kind of secret to help me keep things nice and straight when I am putting these things on like this because sometimes it can be hard to get them straight, and if you get them off, then they just don't look right. So I line it up at the top and the bottom, make sure they're where they need to be, and then I use the little clips that I used before, and I hold down one end of it, just like that. And then I can just turn that over and unpeel the top part of it, and then it'll lay down flat and flush to the top of the card. And then I just remove the clip, remove the backing from the foam tape, and attach that to the bottom of the card where it is flush. So now you have the very basic part of the Magic Iris gatefolded card done. Very, very easy. So now I'm going to start decorating it. I'm going to put these little paper flowers. I've had these for a million years. They have been in my craft room for I don't know how long. And I'm just putting them on the bottom as a little bit of touch, and then I went over with some Nuvo drops, and it's a gold Nuvo drops. So now I'm going to attach our little bride and groom to the front of the I'm just going to use a little bit of double-sided foam tape. I'm going to have to cut it in half because it's a little bit wide for the characters. So I cut it in half and just apply it to the back of the character, the bride character. And I'm just going to attach her to the front of the card. And then I'm going to use the other side of that tape to attach to the little groom character, and we're going to do the same thing and attach him to the front of the card. They're just so stinking cute. So now we're going to make the belly band. We're going to have a black piece of cardstock cut from 11.5 by 3.25. And we're just going to wrap it around the card to get where we need to fold it. You want to make it a little bit looser because it will be very hard to get on if it is extremely tight. So you want to make it just a little bit loose. And so now we're just going to use a bone folder to get those lines nice and crisp, those fold lines. And now we're just going to use a little bit of the art glitter glue to glue the belly band together. It doesn't take a lot. And you want to make sure you don't get any on the inside of the band where the band sticks together, where you don't want it to stick. So now we're going to get ready to make the sentiment on the front of the card, the little element that goes on the belly band. We're going to be using the Timeless Label Punch on the peach cardstock. And then we're going to stamp a sentiment onto the white cardstock, and then this again is from the Day of the Dead Words by Hedgehog Hollow. We are going to use our VersaMark ink to do this because we are going to emboss it with a really pretty metallic platinum embossing powder. We're going to stamp it a couple of times, make sure it's a good crisp stamp image. And now we're just going to emboss it with that metallic platinum embossing powder. I tap off the excess. Looks really pretty, and now I'm going to use my heat embossing tool to melt the embossing powder. And there the sentiment is done. And we're going to punch it out with the Label Me Lovely punch. Both of these punches are from Stampin' Up. I am not a salesperson, I am just a buyer. So now we're going to see how these look together. They look really cute. I like that. And now we're going to start attaching some more of the little white paper flowers to the peach cardstock. I like using these paper flowers because they kind of put me in mind when you look at things, pictures and stuff of the dead, the sugarcane skulls, a lot of that, they have flowers a lot of times. And so I thought that would be a nice addition to the card. So we're just going to apply these with the art glitter glue, and we're going to use the Nuvo crystal drops. The color that we're using is metallic pale gold, and it's the same one that I used to put the centers on the flowers on the card, and we're going to do the same thing here. Now you're going to need to let the the crystal drops dry for about an hour. It really depends on where you're at. Here in Texas, as hot as it is, they dry really quick. To assemble the belly band, I use double-sided foam tape to mount the peach to the band, as well as the white part with the sentiment to the peach part. And that is the cute, cute little card. The belly band goes on just so. Like I said, it goes on tightly, so you want to make it a little bit loose. And that is the way it looks.
Thank you for joining me today. I really hope that you enjoyed making our Gatefold Magic Iris card. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I will get you an answer as soon as I can. And while you're there, go check out these stamps from Hedgehog Hollow. They are so adorable and they are just so stinking cute. I just don't know what else to say. Look at those little faces. They're so cute. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.